On July 9, 2024, in the affluent suburb of Bushey, England, a doorbell camera on one of the upscale homes captures a chilling sequence. A man arrives and is greeted warmly by a woman at the door. Nothing unusual at first glance. But then he leaves, only to return moments later wielding a massive crossbow powerful enough to fell a bear. What unfolds is a meticulously planned atrocity, hatched over 13 days, culminating in a bloodbath that shocks an entire nation. To this day, the roots of such horrors remain a profound mystery. Welcome to Kojisphere. Today, we dive into a criminal case where one man ends up behind bars and he absolutely despises it. Love has an uncanny power to bridge worlds that seem irreconcilable, drawing together souls from opposite ends of the spectrum. It defies social classes and conventions, enriching disparate lives to forge something entirely new, a union that erases barriers and turns differences into strengths. The meeting of Kyle Clifford and Louise Hunt stands out as one of the most improbable. In late 2022 or early 2023, these two young Britons from vastly different backgrounds connect through a dating app during pivotal moments in their lives. Louise, 24, is the youngest of three sisters in a tight-knit, respected family from Bushey in Hertfordshire. Her father, John Hunt, is a household name in British media. A former Metropolitan Police officer, he pivoted to become one of the country's most iconic sports commentators. Since 2004, he's been the lead voice for BBC Radio 5 Alive, calling major horse racing events that draw millions of listeners. Let's be real, Brits tune in more for the betting than the horse's grace or the sport's thrill. Morning baked beans don't exactly breed equestrian passion. John also works with Sky Sports Racing, commentates French races for Equidia, and since 2012 has been part of the BBC's Olympic team specializing in swimming and diving. His expertise makes him a cornerstone of sports journalism. Louise grew up with financial security and unwavering family stability. Determined to carve her own path, she skipped traditional university and launched Groom & Glow, a dog grooming business, in 2020. She set up her salon in the family home's garden on Ashland Close, and it quickly thrived thanks to her skill and warm personality. Raised with values of respect and openness, she approached relationships with natural confidence. On the other side is Kyle Clifford, 25, born and raised in Enfield, North London. Outwardly, the Cliffords blended into the middle-class crowd, but beneath the surface lurked instability that shaped their 4 children. Kyle has 2 brothers and a sister. The 3 boys were notorious locally for bullying and troublemaking from a young age. Eldest brother, Bradley, especially violent, proved it devastatingly in 2017. That year, at 24, Bradley erupted in rage outside a bar over a dispute involving his girlfriend. Things escalated fast. No one was sober. 2 teens, Soban K and Joshua Francis, 18 and 19, threw a bottle at Bradley's prized red Ford Mustang EcoBoost, slightly damaging a mirror. Annoying, sure. Fatal? Not usually. But Bradley snapped. He chased their scooter in his car for 20 minutes through Enfield, hitting nearly 100 kilometers per hour, often on the wrong side of the road. He rammed them deliberately. Both riders were ejected. Joshua survived with minor injuries, a miracle. Soban slammed into a lamppost and died on impact. Bradley didn't stop. He exited his wrecked car and pummeled Soban's lifeless body 9 times, screaming that he deserved it. Police and paramedics arrived around 7 a.m. Bradley tried claiming it was accidental, but witnesses, Joshua's survival, and a prior WhatsApp to his girlfriend vowing to put a knife in the throat of anyone touching his Mustang sealed his fate. In May 2018, Bradley was convicted of Soban's murder and sentenced to life with a 23-year minimum plus 7 concurrent years for grievous bodily harm to Joshua. The fallout burdened the family. with Kyle idolizing Bradley as a tough guy, showing no empathy for the victims. In 2019, at 21, Kyle joined the British Army, enlisting in the Queen's Royal Hussars, a prestigious armored cavalry regiment dating back to 1685, elite in reconnaissance and special operations. It might have been an escape from his toxic home, a chance to forge his own identity, but it was a disaster. Instructors found him immature, undisciplined, and resentful towards society. He barely scraped through training and was discharged in 2022 after 3 years struggling in civilian life. Socially awkward, Kyle openly admired Bradley's crimes. In February 2023, he landed a security systems job in St. Albans, but lasted 5 months, likely due to behavioral issues. Unemployed, his bitterness grew, feeling the world owed him without effort. That's when he met Louise. Stable, successful, family-oriented, high status. Kyle was a ticking bomb. For him, she became an obsession. They came from polar opposites and his family had a dark reputation, but Kyle had assets. Athletic from the army, disarmingly charming, Louise fell quickly, giving him a chance. Early on, he showered her with romance, tender gestures, passionate declarations. To embed himself, he wooed her family. Louise was close to parents John and Carol and sisters Hannah and Amy. Initial wariness over Bradley faded as Kyle arrived with flowers for Carol, helped with chores, played with pets, and grilled John on his career with genuine admiration. It worked. Carol adored his politeness. The sisters approved. He seemed balanced. This acceptance thrilled Kyle, exposing him to healthy family dynamics, but it fueled his possessiveness. He began seeing Louise as his property.
He alternated intense charm with calculated distance, a psychological tactic inducing emotional dependency. He inserted himself into her business, handling admin but gradually undermining her, criticizing decisions, questioning prices, eroding her confidence under the guise of help. Blinded by love, Louise bought it. Kyle, meanwhile, binged misogynistic online content, obsessed with Andrew Tate's dominance rhetoric, videos on training women, enforcing authority. His mask slipped, showing Louise a Tate clip of animal abuse, calling it funny. Her first serious relationship, she dismissed it as a fluke, naive to his empathy-void fascination with suffering. Gradually, he revealed contempt for women, insisting men make all key decisions, women submit. Possessiveness escalated, demanding her whereabouts, accompanying outings for safety, banning makeup or revealing clothes. Jealous of any man near her, clients, suppliers, family friends, he showed up uninvited. He isolated her, canceling friend plans, no solo activities. She believed couples should share everything, while he cheated via dating apps under aliases. Confronted, he denied, minimized, then flipped it, accusing her of snooping, eroding trust. He criticized her family, demanding less time with them. His views shocked. Women intellectually inferior, feminism baseless, domestic violence often provoked. Sexually, he turned brutal, ignoring consent, using emotional blackmail. Outwardly, he charmed the Hunts, but Louise changed, vibrant to withdrawn, exhausted. Kyle gaslit her. Her flaws forced his firmness. Surveillance proved her immaturity. He punched a wall in rage when she refused to visit. Family and friends warned her. Sister Hannah admitted always finding him rude, arrogant. Louise denied, hoping to fix him, the bad boy myth. By 2024, deterioration accelerated. Realizing he'd destroy her, she planned breakup despite shattered confidence. Kyle sensed it, amping jealousy and control. On June 26, 2024, she texted ending their 18 months kindly. She'd love him long, wished him well. He responded calmly, Relieved but heartbroken, days later she crashed her car into a pole, unhurt but distressed. Kyle played calm but seethed. The breakup was betrayal demanding vengeance. No impulse, he planned coldly. He researched silent, lethal weapons legal in the UK, settled on a crossbow, no permit needed for over 18s. Ordered a Horizon Cornet MXT 405 with 6 bolts, 90+ centimeters, 2.79 kilograms, 200-pound draw, bolts at 120+ meters per second, deadly accurate to 50 meters. Added a 25-centimeter butcher knife, air pistol, undelivered, gasoline, duct tape, and rope. He consumed more misogyny, justifying punishment for her insubordination. Wrote self-pitying suicide notes, blaming her, claiming victimhood. Called imprisoned Bradley twice, lying about the crossbow for target practice. Stalked the hunt's routines, knowing John's schedule. Targeted July 9th when John was away commentating, women unprotected. Morning of, visited a garden center casually. Around 1:30 p.m., parked nearby, knife in backpack, crossbow in trunk. 2 cars in driveway, Carol's and Louise's. John confirmed at Lingfield via app. At 2:32 p.m., doorbell cam rang. Carol, 61, opened trustingly, recognized X. He smiled, said returning Louise's items, invited in. Door shut, stabbed her repeatedly, knees, hands, back, torso. She collapsed, bled out by 3:07 p.m. He fetched crossbow under blanket, stepped over body, waited. Louise's salon clients came and went unaware. She entered at 4:11 p.m., saw mother in blood pool. Kyle ambushed with crossbow, bound and gagged her with tape and rope. Tortured her over 2 hours, physical, psychological, sexual assault. Neighbors heard odd noises, ignored as domestic. At 5:31 p.m., used her phone to text John about return time. Searched disabling smoke detectors. Planned arson. Hannah, 28, esthetician, called mom en route home. At 6:49 p.m., Kyle shot Louise in the back with a bolt. Ended her agony. Hannah entered side door, called out, upstairs, met Kyle with crossbow. Panicked, cried, sent frantic text to boyfriend Alex. Call police, Kyle in-house. Kyle shot her at 6:59 p.m., bolt through body. She collapsed. He gathered items, wiped obvious traces, fled in car. Hannah, bleeding, found bodies, called emergency. Afraid to die, crossbow wound, mom and sister killed. Paramedics at 7 p.m. Hannah died soon after. Triple murder. Carol, 61, Hannah, 28, Louise, 25. Hannah's text ID'd Kyle instantly. Nationwide manhunt. Hundreds of officers, armed units, helicopters, dogs. Raided family home, seized computers and docks. Bushy locked down. Media blasted description, 26, 1.75 meters, average build, armed, dangerous, do not approach. Kyle drove north calmly, speed limits. Stopped isolated lot, pondered. No escape plan. Parked childhood area 7:30 p.m., took crossbow to Lavender Hill Cemetery, familiar hiding spot. Nation reeled. Wife, 2 daughters of beloved John Hunt slaughtered. Racing world mourned. Search narrowed to Enfield via car tracking. Kyle hid overnight among graves. Helicopters and dogs closing in. Decided, no live capture like his brother. July 10th, 6 p.m., specialized unit with dog entered cemetery. Kyle heard, turned crossbow on self, bolt through chest, massive damage, unconscious. Found with noose nearby, unused. Survived surgery, weeks ICU, but bolt severed spinal cord, permanent paraplegia from torso down, wheelchair-bound, dependent. September 17, 2024, initial court via video from hospital, wheelchair, emotionless. Charges 3 murders, false imprisonment. nodded understanding, remanded to Belmarsh, high security, adapted for disabled, Hellmarsh, UK's Guantanamo for worst criminals. December 19th, pleaded not guilty, baffling given evidence. Added rape charge, DNA proof on Louise. January 22nd, switched to guilty on most, denied rape, claimed consensual past, debunked. March 3rd, rape trial, absent. March 6th, guilty after 45-minute deliberation. March 11th, absent for sentencing, life, no parole. At 26, whole of life, rare, joins UK's most depraved. Surpassed his brother's horror, 2 such killers in one family, uncommon. Sparked debates, legal crossbow access, Home Secretary to review. Online hates radicalization risks, domestic abuse warnings, psychological grips, lethality. John and surviving daughter Amy rebuild. John back at work some 60 days later. In a BBC interview, speaks Bailey to lost loved ones, greets good morning, good night. Kyle at Belmarsh, 50-plus years ahead in confinement.